Welcome to Just Say Okay podcast, where we are learning to be planted while walking on water. Now, here's your host, Yolanda Morgan. Hey, y'all. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Just Say Okay podcast, where we are learning to be planted while walking on water. So, I'm your host, Yolanda Morgan. And if this is your first time tuning in, go ahead on and hit that subscribe button because we're on YouTube now.
Ooh, that's good news. I like that.
And as you guys can see, today we have a wonderful, wonderful guest.
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
Did I say what my name is?
No, not just yet.
Okay.
Just give me a second. Just give me a second. Yeah. Okay, so this is my wonderful, wonderful friend. Her name is Bernice. We met many, many years ago at the unsinkable Albany State University.
Okay.
Go Golden Rams. And I just thought because of like where we're at in this wonderful journey, I thought she would be one of the perfect people because it's going to be some other ones, but she is one of them that to come and give you guys a wonderful word. But yeah, without further ado, I'm gonna allow her to introduce herself and we'll go from there.
Hey, everybody. Like Yolanda already said, my name is Bernice. We met back in college in 2014, 2015?
Yeah, not tell our age.
Yeah, we still young. We still spring
chickens, very much.
But I don't know what else to say. My name is Bernice. I'm 29.
Where you from?
I'm from Boston, but I've been living in Georgia since I was 7. So like not telling my age. 20 odd years, 20 something years. But I'm pretty much a Georgia peach adjacent. So
come on with it,
yeah. But yeah, I'm basically from here. I've been here most of my life, and I can tell you more about me when more questions are asked because I'm blank up top.
Okay,
So
that's
yeah.
all right. All right. All right. So as you just said, when more questions are asked, so I have a couple of icebreaker, rapid fire, whatever you want to call it, questions just to get you guys to know her a little bit better and also to help her relax a little bit. Okay. So, what is a weird food you've tried and would you try it again? What's the weirdest food you tried?
The weirdest food, weirdest for me, I guess. I would say is duck.
Duck.
Yeah, it's not weird, but it's the most different.
Okay.
I would try it again.
Okay.
It don't taste like chicken though. They lied.
I just want to say,
It
they try to
don't.
make everything
Exactly.
taste like chicken now.
It don't.
They be like, frog legs taste like chicken. I be like, listen,
That don't.
coon tastes like chicken. I mean,
Don't.
But no. Okay. All right. So, Doug, what's your favorite Bible verse?
Oh, Hebrews 11 verse 8. Let me just pull it up really quick. I had it on my phone, I promise. Give me a second, y'all. But it's Hebrews 11 verse 8, and it's befitting of the season that I'm in. And it says, hold on, I definitely went to Hebrews 8 verse 11. Dyslexia.
It's okay.
All right. So it says, by faith, Abraham, when he was called, obeyed and set out for a place that he was going to receive as an inheritance. He went out even though he did not know where he was going.
Okay. All right. And listen, y'all, this is going to be a good episode. I don't know if y'all know that, but that is very relevant to what it is that we're going to be talking about today. Just a few more questions. What's one piece of advice you've been given that has had a major impact on your life?
I think piece of advice that I've been given, especially right now, is stop trying to be God in your life. The reason why you end up in like circles and cycles in your life is because you keep trying to do things on your own rather than telling God what you need done and allowing him to do it.
Girl.
There's habits that I was able to break because he helped me break them. He broke them off me, not me doing it.
Exactly.
So
Okay.
just keep your hands off.
Yeah. That's a message, you know. Your girl over here been walking through that same little journey, and you know, I am slowly but surely learning because it's a continued learning process. It's
Yeah.
not like oh, this is something I've done for 28 years of my life, and all of a
Exactly.
sudden it's just I'm not gonna do it no more.
Yeah.
Now I am more not relevant. I am more aware
Yeah.
when I do that.
Yeah.
So I'm able to stop myself a little bit and be like,
Yeah.
okay, Yolanda, this ain't something you can control. And what's funny is like God will give me a little hey, just in case you
A little
forgot,
tap on your shoulder.
let me let you know. It ain't on you.
Exactly.
You can't do it. It's me. You gotta put your faith and your trust and control
That's
in my
facts.
hands.
And once you start doing it little by little, like you'll recognize it.
Right.
And it's just in that process though, just go easy on yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't do that. So.
But you're not alone in it.
Yeah.
I be beat myself up too because I
Yeah.
be like, once I stand back and look, I be like, dang, I'm over here wilding. I'm stressed out right now.
Exactly. But give the same grace that you give to others, give it to yourself.
That's right. Okay. Funny question. So what reality show would you be on if you could be?
Well, I'm not married, so probably not a housewife.
Don't do that. Listen, the amount of women up there that's not married, even though it's Real Housewives, is kind of
maybe
crazy.
I would say like the Real World. Like there's so
Ooh.
many different series, but I feel like it would allow people to see me in my element.
Yeah.
So I got different sides to me. Not that I'm crazy or anything, but I would say the Real World because you can follow me around and watch me like really live.
Yeah.
And have fun with me.
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay.
I would say the Real World for sure.
Okay. All right then. Okay, so earlier you mentioned that one of your favorite Bible verses was the Hebrews 11 and verse 8. Yeah, because I'm like, I keep trying to mix it up. But yeah, you mentioned that was your favorite verse. And in that verse, pretty much the verse, what she read to y'all is about Abraham being called out of the place that he was familiar with and heading on a nice little journey that is going to lead him into his destiny.
Pretty much.
And I would just love to hear like a little background on why that's like one of your favorite verses, or if you could, because you mentioned that it's more relevant to the season that you're in right now. If you could just, you know,
give a little
shine a little light. Yeah, just let them know.
I can do that. So this particular verse is befitting of the season that I'm in because I'm currently in a transition. Spiritually, but also physically.
Okay.
Earlier this year, okay, slight background. The church that I used to go to, I was serving there as a worship leader. I sang a little bit for the Lord. So at the top of the year, he was already giving me, instructions to leave, but I wasn't trying to because it's a safe space. I grew up in that church.
Yeah.
So, I was eventually a few months later, I ended up transitioning out and stepping down, and I left. Now, usually when God gives you step one, he makes you complete that first step so he can give you the next. The next was you're going to move some more. Now I'm thinking like a little apartment down the street. So I was looking at Duluth, a little Norcross situation. So he's like, no, further out. And then he gave me the word Dallas. I said, absolutely not. I don't know nobody over there.
Listen, it scares you a little bit when you hear it. You're like, God, did I hear you?
No. And I'm not going to lie. When I got the word, I stopped praying altogether. Because I was like, if I'm not talking to you, you can't talk to me. So I was trying to cut lines of communication off. So throughout that season earlier this year, that verse came across. I think it might have been through the Bible app. I was reading it and it just hit me right there. It was a depiction of what I was going through. God called Abraham out the same way he called me out. And he managed to obey and leave what he knew, his relatives, a place of comfort to go into his promises, his inheritance. And the main thing that pointed out that stuck out to me in that verse is that he didn't know where he was going. He didn't know what was over there, but he knew that he needed to go and he knew something good was there because God called him.
Right.
So it's not until like 2 weeks ago that I finally started to listen. And I said, okay, I have a whole bunch of different apartments that are in my inbox that I could, pick. So I decided to pick an application and I said, I'm going to fill this out with faith because
Listen.
we're not going to put all my business out there, but ain't no way I could have got that apartment on my own. Okay. So I filled out the application and I prayed on it before I sent it in. I said, God, I'm showing you that I trust you 100%. Like, I don't have any means or ways to get over there, but I know you've called me there. So I'm going to put this application in as a way to show you that I trust you 100%. Put it in. I thought it was going to get denied. That's why I was so quick to press apply. So Thursday night, I put it in. They called me Friday and said, hey, we're going to go ahead and get the pre-approval process with you. I answered a few questions, start the background check. That was Friday. Monday early afternoon, I got my move-in date, my move-in time, my apartment number. And they said, well, we're so excited to have you. I said, excuse me.
Yeah, listen.
Plot twist.
And I just love that because it just shows you like the more you trust God, the more He'll be like, I got you. He will show and prove every single time.
Exactly.
He don't have to, but every single time, if you're obedient to what it is that He's telling you to do, He said, let me show you how I got you. Let me show you how I set you up with the very best.
Exactly.
And I do want to put out a disclaimer because people try to act like, even with the story of Abraham, before Abraham even got to the promised land of where he was going to be, he went through some stuff now. So I need y'all to know that it's not just, sometimes it is a simple like,
yeah.
But a lot of times it's like, before you.
Yeah, there's a few dragging of the feet, make mistakes. Honestly, even within his story, he wasn't fully obedient the first time.
Yeah.
The thing about it is I was doing some study on that particular story. It's like he wasn't obedient the first time around, but it was saying that God didn't just simply, he acknowledged the fact that he obeyed eventually.
Yeah.
Like he didn't highlight the delay.
Yeah.
So once he finally gave the yes, it's like, well, now I can fast forward everything.
Yeah.
That's why it's like, once you finally say yes, there's no timetable on what God's going to do.
Yeah.
Because when you say yes, your hands is off.
Come on now.
So once your hands is off, it's like, I can drag you along.
Exactly. And I mean, he do.
Exactly. It's like y'all finally switch places. He's in the driver's seat now. You're not even the passenger because you too close to the steering wheel. You in the back. So yeah, God is kind of like, not even kind of, God got me in the trunk. I'm not even in the seats anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, girl.
And I don't know. And I really like and I admire that nice declaration statement that you made to him. Like, this is you.
Yep.
It ain't me. It's you.
Exactly.
Do your big one.
Exactly.
Go out there and you got it.
It's very tough, especially like me. I'm a first generation American. So like, in culture, I'm not expected to leave the house until I get married. And, when I have like a secure job, I have a job right now, but it's not the one that I would prefer to have. So it's like you trying to get all your ducks in a row. If you're waiting for that rather than waiting on God, nothing's ever going to be right. You just have to trust God that He'll provide and get you to where He told you to get to.
Yeah.
But yeah, girl.
Okay. And I do want to ask, like, what gave you that confidence to just be like, you know what?
It's time. Okay. That's a perfect question. Because there's a level of misery that you're going to have when you choose to stay in that place of comfort. Like, yeah, you know everything about where that environment that you're in, but there came a point where I was just like, I kind of hate it here.
Yeah.
Like, I love the fact that I'm around my family, and I love the fact that, I'm in this environment with everyone so close to me. But at the same time, it's like, I felt out of place.
Yeah.
Nothing felt right anymore. It's like you feel genuinely uncomfortable. You feel heavy. There comes a point where it's just like you either gonna choose your heart. You gonna choose this misery right here, miserable and comfortable, or peace and unknown. And I kind of got to that point where I'm just like, I'm kind of tired of not knowing what's going on with me, but knowing I'm not supposed to be here, and then watching everybody's life just unfold around me. And it's just like everybody doing life, and you out here worried about other people. You trying to hold on to people in a close proximity, and everyone's just going on with about their life, and you just here,
Literally.
just looking how you looking.
And you know what's funny? That's so my semi time that I spent in Atlanta, because if you kept up with the story, I left my full time job because God said it's time. You know, you comfortable over here, you comfortable, you good, you but it's more that I want for you. It's more that I want to do with you and through you. So he called me out. I actually obeyed. I wrestled with it a little bit. We was
out here fighting
in that ring, but I did eventually leave, and you know, he sent me to Atlanta. And during that season of being in Atlanta, it actually showed me you don't have to worry about anything or anybody in your life, like your mom getting older and stuff like that, because life is going to happen without you. When I say life, that realization and that revelation that life goes on even if you're there or not, like, it was crazy because it really helped me to see. I'm like,
your
wow.
eyes are opened.
Yeah. And I'm sure you're gonna have that experience where it's like, oh, y'all living life. Like you said, you're sitting there in the middle of it while you're still comfortable and all that good stuff. And it's like, oh, okay, well, I know I'm not supposed to be here. And everything, like you just said, everything, everybody else's life is moving on, and you're just like here. And it's really just because you haven't been obedient to what God has told you to do.
Yeah, and that's why I honestly truly believe like nothing has unfolded for me past graduation. Like I got my job that I have, and it's been able to help me out with bills and stuff, but there's like certain points of purpose that haven't really happened because I know I'm not where I'm supposed to be at the moment.
Yeah.
You know, so watching everybody just get married, have kids, get jobs, all that stuff, and I'm just looking around like twiddling my thumbs. Like, congratulations.
Yeah.
But what about me, Jesus?
Right.
So
and he like,
if
I'm waiting on
just,
you.
Exactly. Like it's funny because I used to say that all the time. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna wait on the Lord.
God.
You know, I just need to pray one more time.
Yeah.
I need to do one more 3-day fast. I just starve myself just a little bit so I could hear him.
Yeah.
And he out here yelling at you like, I've been told you to go.
Literally. And you know, like I said in my last episode, that's what I discussed. Like the job that I have now is like, cause I'm like, oh, I'm going back to Atlanta. I'm going back because you said I'm going back. He already told me I'm going back. So I'm like, okay, we going back to Atlanta, applying all them jobs. And everybody saying, no, you are the worst thing. We do not want you.
Bye.
Not here. I don't know where you're going to go, but it ain't going to be here. So, and God just over there in the corner in the area that I'm in, and like, I'm over here. So I know what I told you, but you aren't going to force my hand and make me.
Exactly. This is not on your timetable. It's on his.
That part. Like, ate me up, ate me down, beat me up, beat me down, Lord. And really doing it to myself because he was just waiting on me. And I honestly, and I know you can attest for it, I just be so thankful that God has so much patience for us. And grace for us.
It makes you emotional when you think about it.
Like when
he could have been threw you away. Like, all right, you know
like,
so much.
Right, literally. I'm like, God, please, thank you so much. Because it's like you didn't have to wait on me. You could have been like, you know what? You want it so bad. I'm gonna send you there now and watch it fail. And then you're gonna come right back here.
Exactly.
He could have said that, but he didn't. He was just like, no, I'm over here and I need you to hear that I'm over here.
I need you to follow suit. Eventually, you know, you're gonna get it together.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. So, you know, just leaning more into that. Because I can only speak from my standpoint, and I know where mine is rooted in. Is rooted in control and the ability to control and wanting to control. So I just want to, you know, just ask you a little bit about that. Yeah, you know,
feel the pressure.
Just
so basically, you're asking like where my lack of surrender comes from?
Yeah.
Oh, it's definitely control.
Okay.
I'm a person that I didn't realize how surface level my faith was until God started stretching me a little bit further than usual in a short time frame. I'm a person, I like structure of all kinds. I need everything in its order and I need to see all steps. If it comes with 10 steps, I need to see 1 through 10 before I even get to 1.
Right.
Like show me all the cards. But it's just like God is showing me that if I truly have trust and faith in God, then I shouldn't be asking for all these prerequisites before I make the first decision.
Mm.
Before I say my first yes, well, I'm asking where we about to go, who all gonna be there. What that ain't
Mm.
your business. So that's where mine comes from. It's basically like yours. Like I have a need for control. Like I need to, because I'm a person. If I like any other human, if you see what's coming, it gives you more time to figure out if I'm gonna go or not.
Right.
Like, I'm gonna dodge this real quick. Cause what? No.
And like just thinking about it, like imagine if Abraham said that. Imagine if he was like, "Okay, God, I need."
Girl, as soon as you said that, I hate to interject, but it reminded me of a thing that God was telling me. It's like showing me two different stories in the Bible. We all know Jonah, how he got swallowed up by the fish. And that's how I kind of look at like the lack of surrender. You pick your heart. You're gonna get to this destination regardless, but I need you to choose how you're gonna do it. It's
Right.
either you're gonna do what Abraham did. He did a slight delay, but he obeyed eventually, or you're gonna do what Jonah did. You're gonna get swallowed up, and he gonna spit you out at your destination. So it's just like I was looking at it that way too. Like either you're gonna let go of control and be obedient, get through the hard parts, and God will bring you there, or something possibly traumatic could happen that brings you to your
Yeah.
destination.
Anyway, that's the crazy part.
Yeah,
Like,
so the end goal will always be the same, but it's like, what route are you willing to take? And I was like, I don't want to be swallowed up by no fish.
right.
I'll pass.
Literally, and it's like one of those. I don't know. I love how you put that. Like you pick your heart. Pick
Yeah.
your heart, you guys. Like
Yeah. I don't want that heart.
I don't want that I gotta go through the traumatic experience of
No.
like getting swallowed up by a fish. Even though the fish was like for his protection, like
Yeah.
even within that, like
Yeah.
God is so like merciful. That, like
Exactly.
you being so disobedient. You know I called you over here.
Exactly. It's like
And
grabbing your child. Like, where you going?
literally,
Snatch
like
you up.
I know he be rolling his eyes. I be like, I'm sorry, God. Like
No, really. I
when
feel
I
guilty at the end of the day. Like, oh, okay. I've been doing too much. Let me reel it in.
let me lock back in with
Please.
you. Okay, so yeah. So tell me about what it takes, like the amount of faith, like what helped build your faith to the point where you were able to give God that okay.
Um, I think getting back into my word a little bit more. When you know who God is, you know truly know his character, then there's nothing around you, nothing that you see, nothing in your routine or your habits that could defy who God is.
Mm,
So it's like of course I feel like that's where the surface level faith comes from. Your faith will be surface level if you don't know him that well. And if you don't know him that well because you're not in your word.
right.
And I know that's something that I knew I had to lock in with and still we working on it. But it's spending more time with him and his word. When you know who he is, you know his character, you know what his promises are, that is the thing that gives you that boost to say, well, I'm ready to go wherever you want me to go.
Yeah.
So wherever you want to send me, I'm here. So
Okay. All right now. I love it. And I know for me, all the little journeys kind of similar to yours. Like it's really pretty much that's what it
Yeah.
is. Like having that level of faith to be like, you know what? Whether it works, whether it doesn't, God got me.
Exactly. And that's where the scripture comes in because there's a lot of pushback that I got from little things. Like before I even, people still don't know completely that I'm moving. So if you end up watching this,
Yeah, no
bye.
doubt.
But there's like moments where when God instructed me to step down from the church that I was serving at,
Mm,
and people was telling me like, what's next? Are you going to another church? I told them literally I do not know. And people's looking at me like I'm crazy.
Man.
It be your own people in the church, okay?
Man.
But
who supposed to have that faith with you?
Exactly. So that's why I say when you'll get pushback and opposition from people within the same church house as you, and that's why you always have to use the word and God as your foundation, because that's when I started speaking back that Hebrews 11 verse 8.
Yeah.
I said Abraham didn't know where he's going, but when he heard the call, he went. I mean, he went the second time. He was a little shaky the first time, but like that's why I had to tell people, I was like, you won't always know everything, and if you know who God is, you'll be able to move forward.
Yeah. I'm with
Period.
you when you're right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then my thing is too is like, because a lot of times we have an issue when it's people close to us who don't get it.
Hurt.
Oh
If I had
man.
pearls, I'd clutch them right now.
Yeah, listen, you be so hurt and like so disappointed that it's like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you I'm doing this by faith and you're not having enough faith to believe that
Yeah.
I'm doing this by faith. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be good. Like you're not encouraging me. You're trying to talk me out of what God is telling me I need
Exactly.
to do. A lot of times that be the case, and I feel like that's an indicator that that person just may not be someone who's going to play a major role in your next season.
Yeah. They might have to be the people that just watch it all unfold
That
rather than
part.
being the people that are pouring into you. And I'm a person, I'm still working on the people pleasing thing. So when it comes to the people that are close to you that don't necessarily understand or believe what you got going on, when you're a people pleaser, you might have a tendency to lean into what they're saying and then
Man.
doubting God. That's why I always say, like, I had to be around people that kept telling me to listen to what God was saying and go back to Him, fast, pray, get in your word, because people close to you will be the people that may be like, nah, I don't really believe God told you that.
Yeah.
Well, go talk to Him about
Right. And then it'll make you miss your blessing and it'll stand back and be like, oh,
it. Mm-hmm.
well, you should have listened,
Yeah,
but you told me
that's
not to do
true.
it.
That's why you shouldn't center people in your life.
That part.
Don't make people like idols in your life, regardless of how close they are. It can be your mom, your dad, your granny, your cousin, your bestie,
Sister, brother.
anybody.
Yeah.
Once they start taking a position where you start leaning into them more than you lean to God, it's time to wrap it up and
Yeah.
regroup.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Got to put people in their correct positions in your life, and
Yep.
nobody should come before God at the end of the
Exactly.
day.
I
So,
mean, don't it say to hate your mother and your father?
yeah.
Don't hate them for real.
Yeah.
But it's just to emphasize, you know, God should be the priority at all times.
Exactly.
And then everybody else comes in after that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, my best
So,
friend told me that like last week, and I was like, "Ooh."
okay. So, what are some of your key takeaways from your journey so far? Like when it comes between you and your relationship with God, and like,
The closer you get to where He's calling, the warfare gets harder.
mm,
And a lot of times we don't acknowledge what warfare is, and sometimes it's because we weren't taught to identify what warfare is.
right,
We just called to read a verse here and there and pray, but sometimes it takes a lot more than that. You have to acknowledge that no, it feels like you're sad, it might be depression, but underneath all that is a spiritual warfare. It's an attack on your purpose, on your life. Um and you always have to look at these oppositions as a fuel to go deeper with God.
right,
The more you feel that pushback, that means you're getting to where you need to be. The closer you get to where you're called, the harder the warfare is, the harder the attacks are. So you need to make sure you deeply anchor with the Lord, but also you pray for the community that is pouring into you. We
right.
ain't got time for doubters and unbelievers when we trying to
Mm-mm.
get to where God needs us to be.
No, not at all.
Mm-mm.
No. And okay, so since you mentioned warfare, what are some examples of warfare that you've like experienced or you've seen for yourself?
For me, I've always struggled with my mental health since I was
Mm,
younger. And I never knew really what the root, because I used to always try to depict where it came from.
yeah,
And the closer I got to God, it's just like um He made me realize the enemy attacks you in different ways, and he'll attack you for a long period of time. People think that the enemy would just come, at this
discipline.
no. The moment that God puts you in your mother's womb, you are an open target, okay? So
That's
when
right.
you see certain cycles in your life, the enemy been on your back because he sees
Literally.
what's coming for you. So it can, for me, it came in the sense of like intrusive thoughts. That was the hardest thing for me. Intrusive
Gotcha.
thoughts and just depression and things like that. It was, you got to speak them scriptures back
Yes.
and make those thoughts obedient to Christ. I'm still trying to memorize, verses, so I'll be just throwing out lines.
Yeah.
But
That's all right
that's
though.
number one for me, because sometimes we're just looking for extravagant things, like big things that, oh, this gotta be warfare.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the fact that you haven't left your room in about a week.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's a sign right there. It's time to get on
You
your
ain't
knees
did
and
your
pray.
hair.
You look crazy.
Crazy. Crazy.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But that was really the number one indicator. And it took me a long time. I still have to, I'm in a space where I have to fight it. As soon as
Yeah.
it comes in, I'm like, nah, that ain't
That
that
ain't
ain't God
God
at all.
at all.
You vacate the premises, okay? You can't live here.
Okay, I love that. You fighting, you battling,
Look,
and you be in my prayers. So
and we thank him.
listen.
This is what community looks like, guys.
Yeah, seriously.
Hmm.
That's why she on here, because you know
We're here to,
it's a
pour
lot to
into
talk
each other.
about.
Hello.
But yeah, so just to move along, like,
Hmm.
what are you working on now?
Obedience.
Okay.
Prior to this month, about 2 months ago, I would say, like in August, I ended up deactivating all my social media,
Mm.
because I wasn't moving in obedience. I'm a person, I love to create content that allows people to connect with each other. I love bringing people together, and I love to write. Um, Prior to deactivating, God was calling me to make more content, put videos out there. I have a blog site, just getting things organized. I'm a person where I don't like being in the forefront of anything. But
Mm.
God, it's like God knows that, so he pushes me further out. So I find myself just being on social media a lot, just not posting. And then when I did post, it had nothing to do with God told me to do.
Right.
So he kind of got me. No, he did got me. He snatched
Okay.
me by the collar and said, like, if you're gonna constantly scroll, I need you to lock in, or just put this down for a time being. So I decided to regroup. I deactivated. I'm actually in a month where I'm focusing on God. Once that month is over and I've regrouped, then I'm ready to just get back into that. Um,
Come out that cave.
yeah. So I guess you could call it a brand for now, but the goal is really to just connect other women with each other
Yeah.
in faith and stuff. It's called the Queen's Corner,
The
okay?
Queen's Corner.
You know,
You know?
but the goal is to just get back on social
Yeah.
media and do it with purpose rather than aimlessly scrolling.
Right.
Because a lot of times we find ourselves in that social media point where we're just scrolling aimlessly. People allow themselves to get consumed by what they see on social media. And I do truly believe that God's calling me to put out content that can break that.
Yeah.
Tell people to wake up,
Yeah.
not look at social media as a way to just be consumed, but be fed. If you're going to be
Yeah.
online, might as well be fed by
I'm
it.
telling you.
Hmm.
I'm telling you. And honestly, on social media, that's why I unfollowed like so many of like Shade Room, gotta go.
I'm about to say, the shade
Spiritual
room.
world is not spiritual. You gotta go. Like
Yeah.
it's a lot of pages I had to unfollow
Yeah.
just because of the content and the nature of the stuff that they would be posting. It's
Yeah.
like it will lead you down a rabbit hole.
Exactly. You
And
out
it's
here trying to
freaking
figure out people's lives. That's not your
yeah,
business.
literally, literally, literally,
Mm-mm.
literally. But yeah, so and that was one of my questions that he gave me, like, why haven't you like started?
Okay. I'm respectful, Jesus. I wasn't gonna say calm down. I was gonna say give me a minute. But yes, really promised God, like after this month, after I finish regrouping, um, I would just get back on and be consistent, because I would post like one video here and then be like, well, that's enough.
That's new.
That'll last about a year.
What you
Um,
hiding from? Why are you trying to hide?
I think I might have a fear of being seen.
Mm,
Like, as much as people may see my personality, I don't let it shine all the time. And when God calls you to be authentic in front of a camera and to post things, I'm just like, But I truly believe that just comes from not realizing that my identity is in Christ.
right.
So I shouldn't be afraid to just be myself the way God's called me to, in whatever space that he's put me in.
Yeah.
So I'm learning to just be myself, because y'all be calling me funny. I'm not funny for
No,
real.
she's hilarious, y'all.
I
I'm
am
telling
not,
you.
you
And she
know?
gonna show y'all. I'm holding you to it. Like, you are gonna do this. You are coming out this cave.
Amen.
Because it's no reason. It's no reason for you to be in there. Because God
Yeah.
has already given you. He's already developed you. He's
Yeah.
already done the thing that he needs to do within you.
Did you come here to make people cry?
Well.
You like I got no makeup on. I ain't got nothing smudged. So I can just wipe.
But no, like, seriously, like, God has already done it in you.
Yeah.
He needs you to put it out into the world. And you see how you're here, how this is flowing.
That's God's work.
How well you're talking, how much you're really doing this. Like, I don't know if you like pause for a moment to think, because
I do this in my room all the time. Like, I'm a person, I set up a camera and I'll usually set it up in my car and just start talking, because I got a lot of stuff to say. I don't let it go past the phone. I don't post it anywhere. I don't.
Baby, this getting posted. You coming out. You got somewhere to be. You got some stuff to do in the name of the Lord.
And I agree. And it's just also just being reminded about the fact that your purpose, where you're called, there's people connected to it.
It is.
So spiritual. It's kind of like spiritual blood on your hands.
Yeah.
When you decide not to walk in your purpose, there are people who are not going to get what they need because you decide to just delay.
Yeah.
So when you finally decide to walk in where you're called, which is why God's dealing with me this month, it's like, it's not about you. It never was about you. When you decide to say yes, that means you're allowing yourself to be emptied by God.
Yeah.
And filled by Him, used by Him.
Yeah.
So it's like, look at it from the perspective of, I'm moving because other people are connected to whatever God has me doing.
Right.
So rather than being scared about what if they don't, it's not about you and it's not about them.
No.
It's about God and who He's calling you to be.
Yep. That's it.
Wow, I feel like He just slapped me in my face.
Listen, He gave me the question that I told you. I when I say I pray and I'm intentional about this podcast, y'all.
Yeah, because that's spot on.
Yeah.
It's like, I've been thinking about that since I deactivated. Like, I don't want to go back on social media just not doing it with purpose.
Yeah.
Just out here just posting. I'm fearfully wonderfully made. I'm cute. But I don't want to just randomly just post stuff, knowing that I have things that I need to just be intentional about.
Yeah.
It's time to lock in.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, you right. You better lock in now. Listen, all of us gotta lock in.
I know that's right. Y'all
don't
see how the world is going. We don't have time.
We don't have
sense of urgency, guys.
Literally. Okay. So, knowing all that, what is it that God has told you to do right now?
Okay. If I'm listening, because a lot of times I just be gaslighting myself and to think I didn't hear Him correctly. Right now, I know the main thing He's calling me to do is consecrate. Now, I'm learning more about what consecration is, but it's really just to put Him in the middle of everything that I'm doing right now.
Gotcha.
That no matter, even if I choose to do something as simple, walk across the street, God, you want me to walk across and turn left or walk across and turn right? So it's really about truly going deeper and having a full, intimate relationship with Him. Like, it's like He's telling me, I need you to just come here for a second. Before you go, you're already on a journey right now, but this month, I need you to sit here, be obedient, have faith, but also I'm calling you to have a strategy. Because yes, now that you know you're on a destination and there's somewhere you need to go, I need you to get here so I could tell you how to configure this stuff.
Right.
So right now, that's my main thing.
And that's another question I have. Sorry.
You know, talking to the
listen,
Lord for real.
Listen.
Okay, I see how you doing it.
Are you open to the way God wants to do it?
I'm honestly, I'm more open than before.
Okay.
I feel like He's still working on me because I still have these moments where I have to fight my thoughts. Like, once I get a sneak preview of what could possibly happen, I'm just like, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Because I don't ever want to say never, because God will do whatever He wants.
Yeah.
But I'm also just like, God, I'm kind of like a little iffy on that.
Yeah.
So I need you to help me work through that thought process.
Okay.
So the openness is slight. It's not closed, but it's not wide open.
Okay. Okay, and listen, like I said, no judgment, because this
Yeah.
is my will, my way.
Mhm.
Is something that I had a real problem with, and I definitely still have the problem
Yeah.
because it's something that he's been trying to actively work out of me as well.
Mhm. We on the same
Yeah, yeah.
page.
Listen,
Okay.
girl, I'm like, okay, yeah, like
It's so
you,
easy to say okay
yeah.
until he starts saying, "Oh,
Oh,
okay."
this is how it's gonna go,
Yeah.
and you just like,
No,
well,
never
that
mind.
ain't what I saw for myself,
Mm.
God.
Can
That's
you
not how I
return
thought
to
that was
sender?
gonna. Yeah, literally, that's all
Mm.
right, but I'm learning to literally just say okay,
Yeah,
and
because that's all he needs. Because
yeah,
the okay is an adjacent yes.
yeah,
So
yeah, literally, like, and saying okay to his way, because I be want stuff my way so bad. I'm
yeah,
like,
I love me a good planner,
yeah,
good
yeah,
structure.
you know, I don't like planners. I like structure though. I
Mm-hmm.
like to be able to control.
Yep.
Just
And it's funny that I said that because I bought a new planner with one of my best friends, and it's like a 6-month planner.
yeah,
So you get to be more detailed on what you got done.
yeah.
There's a place that says goals, and we're supposed to come do goals and make it more precise. And I had blanks, and I really feel like the blanks were intentional. Like God
Yeah.
was not laying down anything.
No.
He's like, I didn't tell you goals for what.
Yeah.
I need you to focus on me. You out here trying
Yeah.
to write down. I'm trying to no. There, you don't have goals right now because the only thing I need you to focus on is me. When
Mm.
you focus on me, I will unfold what you need to see.
That's
But
hard now. I'm with you when you're right,
I was
girl.
like, okay, God,
Yeah.
man, you ain't gotta
Yeah.
yell.
Listen, he be like, I need you to get this.
Yeah,
He's
because we on a time crunch here.
yeah.
We ain't got time to just be messing around and just dragging our feet anymore. So
Nope, not at all. And like I said in that previous episode, is in the title of it is time to come out.
mhm.
Um, like God is actively calling his people out, and I don't know why we just have so much like fear about us when it comes to like coming out
Mhm.
of the cave after he said it's time to come out.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know why, because it's like I said, the devil and his people, they be so loud.
They
They
frolicking in
they
these
be out
streets.
here. The messages be so clear. And
Mhm.
right now, if y'all paying attention, they don't even hide the messages no more. They
No.
used to be a little bit more subliminal, but now
Because
they are
they
so
see how
loud.
scary we are.
Yeah,
They're like,
literally. And it's time out for that. Like
mhm.
we gotta come up and out.
Yeah.
Up and out. Okay.
It's game time.
So and that's kind of like my final question. Do you
Mm.
hear the call? And two part. What are you gonna do about it?
Ooh, okay. Well, okay, two for one. Do I hear the call? Yes. And what am I gonna do about it? Obey.
Mm.
Basically, it's yes, yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
real
I
simple.
hear it, and yes, I'm going to go ahead and obey.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right now. So, this was
This was fun. I'm not
great.
gonna lie.
Yeah.
Woo.
This was fantastic. Of course, at the end of every one of my episodes, I do what are you saying okay to this week? So, Bernice, my sister,
Yes, my sis.
what are you saying okay to this week?
His will,
Mm,
his way. Saying yes to Dallas, Texas.
there you go.
If you are in Dallas and you are watching this, see me.
See.
I'm here to make community over there. So,
And she's a great person. We
oh,
have
thanks.
our little banter. It's a good time.
It's because of her.
Yeah.
Be around people that make you great.
Don't hype me up now, though.
I got to. What you mean? You pour into your people, okay?
Yeah, but yeah. So
This was
I'm
nice.
saying okay to this week. Listening,
Mm,
listening,
because that
cause
makes a difference.
yeah, standing 10 toes down on what I heard too.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing. Without being swayed, like, oh well, no, listening, obeying, and
Mm-hmm.
standing 10 toes down on it. So that's what I'm saying. Okay,
I
too.
know that's right.
But yeah, other than that, thank you so
Of
much
course, I
for
have
coming
fun. I
on.
have fun.
Yeah, I hope you got something from it. I definitely got a lot from it, and I can't wait to edit this and put it out there in the world for everyone to see.
I hope everybody is fed.
Yes, they are. Don't worry, they are.
Oh, y'all full?
Like, yeah, they are. So, but yeah, other than that, just say okay.
Yeah, that's all you need to say.
Just say okay.
Okay.
Go out there, be blessed,
Mm-hmm.
and have a good one.
Bye.
Bye. Well, look at you staying the whole time. Thank you for tuning in to Just Say Okay podcast. If you would like to reach me, you can follow me on Instagram at justsayokpod_, or you can email me at okgodpod@gmail.com. And as I said before, ain't nothing to it but to do it. Just say okay, y'all. Have a good one.